Hello everyone, welcome back to Resident Evil 7. We're going to get into End of Zoe. This is another DLC that I technically watched once, like right first when it was new, but I've never actually played it myself, and I don't know it as well as I knew the main game. As I said, I watched it once years ago, but I really don't know it that well. Let's just dive in. I have some thoughts I want to get to soon, but we'll do a new game. And as with the rest of the versions we've done, I think I will do easy. When we play Resident Evil 8, I will switch over to normal difficulty probably, but here we go.
There's only one left.
It's fine. It was foolish thinking I could escape.
I'm sure there's someone who can help.
This is my home. Apparently I belong here.
I'll send help.
Don't bother. There won't be anyone left to help!
Well, this is showing the canonized events. If you had chosen the other ones, you might not have seen the cutscene in that way. Though I kind of wish they had shown that from Zoe's perspective.
Please!
Though they seem to be sort of resistant to giving Ethan an official canon face. At least in gameplay. I think there's some promotional material that actually shows his face.
Hey, I think she
What the hell you boys up to?
That's her, all right. Zoe Baker. She's still breathing. Call in to HQ.
You say Zoe?
Sir, do you live here?
What the hell's wrong with her?
We're
Zoe!
here to help. So
What in
everything...
God's name have you done?
Sir.
We're here to help, they said.
Stop!
You psycho? I guess we're playing Swamp
Oh
Psycho.
my goodness. Zoe. What the hell do they do to you?
I had forgotten that particular thing.
Listen to me. We're here to help.
No. I don't believe you, boy. Tell me, what kind of help comes in a helicopter gunship?
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't get it.
You think I don't know who you people are? With all these monsters running around here. Tell me, where'd they come from?
It's not what you think. You don't understand!
Well, I don't understand. You see that girl back there? Look! That there, my brother's little girl. My niece, you understand? And around here, family is a righteous cause. And you ain't gonna kill my family. Now see, that ain't something I can abide.
For fuck's sake. She's infected. She's dying. And we're both gonna fucking die if we don't get the fuck out of here right now.
She ain't dead yet, boy. So I figure you better do something about it. For I feed you two little friends outside.
Okay. There's a cure.
You're lying to me.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. We were on our way to get her treatment, and you fucked that up when you jumped us. They're probably still waiting for us right now.
Where?
went to an old shack, not too far from here.
So yeah, she's become this
I swear.
weird but really cool crystal design. I actually like it a lot. Like I hope they bring her back in some capacity. I don't think that we will get that, but it's like it's like she's being calcified in the way that we saw some of the creatures. So we got, kind of hard to tell what the food looks like. We got banana, orange, 3 beers, plate, gator skull. There's actually some nice detailing in here. Cute little kitchenette. Another, I think that's a lobster trap, technically. I don't know what they would be used for down here, but gator skull, big fish. There's no gator I saw today, or that was no gator I saw today. Without checking the lines, when I saw I had one, so I pulled it up. Instead, it was some huge sludge-covered God knows what with huge teeth and claws. Tried to get at me, so I punched that fucker's teeth in before it could. Never thought I'd see it with my own eyes. Goddamn government doing secret experiments on people and animals. No doubt about it. Explains those helicopters flying about recently. Okay, so we're playing like a QAnon guy, I guess, because like this isn't the government. That's like they are a private corporation, and I assaulted them. So cool. This is cool and normal. And yeah, it is this weird thing that we're supposed to be within walking distance of. We're supposed to be within walking distance of the Baker estate. And I'm Jack's brother. Oh. Joe's survival manual. Let's check that real quick. I guess I'll make the save data in advance. My fists are equipped. That's cool. How to kill those things. Bodies are tough, but heads are soft. Punch them. Get in as many fast punches as possible. Left, right with some fast jabs works out good. Right, left, right. Then a strong left knocks them out. Heads crush easily underfoot when they fall down. Crouch and sneak up when not looking to take them out without a fight. Okay. We'll get that out of my inventory real quick. Store that, please. Did I see a... I could have sworn I saw... That was an interaction point. I thought the winch. We have... Oh, okay. Yeah. So, that's kind of cute. Left, right, left. No, it's left, right, right. Okay. Okay. So, right, left is a power combo. Right, left. Right, left. Why isn't it working? Right, left, left. There we go. And right, left. Right, left was the other thing. Got an outhouse. He's supposed to be within walking distance, so it's kind of weird that he wasn't aware of the monsters, and it's weird that he wasn't like indoctrinated into the family. Okay, grub. Can be combined. Okay, so grub combines. Okay, for regular healing. Okay, where are ya?
Alright, you moldy motherfucker. I can take you fuckers with my bare hands.
thought that took out his head. But no. No, one sec. Sorry, everybody. No. Did I hear another one? Centipede. What does that do? Can be combined with chem fluid to create a healing item. Okay, so that's just like a grub. So it doesn't have to be a grub. We can pick up insects of all kinds. So one peculiar thing that I never brought up that isn't like super relevant to this playthrough, but I think is kind of funny in concept. Come on. There we go. Something that's kind of funny in concept is I do think that the Southern Gothic thing is kind of appealing to a lot of people of my generation, millennials, because like a pretty formative relationship. A lot of people my age specifically. I'm 30 now in 2021. So I was born in 1990. Like a pretty formative experience with horror for a lot of people kind of exactly my age, maybe a year or two older, maybe a year or two younger, was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which is kind of related to this, I think, in a lot of funny ways. Okay. Cool. Normal. Boxer Effigy. Boosts attack power. Each one in your inventory gives you a 1% boost. Can I do anything with it? I don't think I can combine it with anything. Effigy of a boxer. 1% is really not... Unless they stack on top of each other, like I'd be filling my inventory for not a lot of gain. Critters are collectively stacked. I like that. Cute. But yeah, Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, I think, came out in 1999, as memory serves, and it was a straight-to-video release. He's not looking good. So I guess the mold maybe becomes autonomous.
Jesus Christ.
Past a certain point. Like, it isn't just a hive mind under Eevee. Or if it is a hive mind, then, like... If there is some hive mind aspects to it, they maybe become disassociated individuals without her. Hey. The combos seem kind of worthless, I want to say. Because the likelihood... With the knockback, the likelihood that I'll ever land the right combo seems kind of low. And I don't have like a, I don't have a, like an endurance bar, so there's no reason for me to not just kind of flail. I think I can run back. Yeah, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, though, was this straight-to-video animated feature for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it takes place in the Deep South. I think it does take place in Louisiana explicitly. Oh, no.
No, no, no.
Well, that's not good. I'm running. Somebody lit my house on fire.
Zoe! All right, now just let it work. God damn it! Why ain't it working?
It wasn't full, was it? It won't be enough. She needs a full dose to heal completely. There's more at our base. Just untie me, and I'll take you there. Please.
What base?
Well, that's not good. Let me out. Well, that's not good.
Shit. Gotta get Zoe out of here.
Can I pick her up? Yes. So the Scooby-Doo franchise was in kind of a weird place. Oh. Fog monster.
Gotta get going.
Following, like... nothing to pick up.
Yo, this is some horror movie bullshit.
Horror movie bullshit indeed. In the 70s and 80s, the Scooby-Doo franchise was constantly struggling. It was constantly trying to figure out what kind of franchise it wanted to be. You got all that stuff with Scrappy-Doo. You got these like weird standalone movies with Scooby and Shaggy, but like none of the rest of the characters. In the early 90s, well maybe late 80s, there's the Bogman again. You got a pup named Scooby-Doo, which was kind of part of this trend of making cartoons where people, like, traditional cartoon characters were turned into children. That was kind of, I think, primarily chasing on the tails of Muppet Babies, but there were a whole ton of them. There was, like... That was, like, a whole fad for a bit. But, yeah, they kind of tried to do, like...
Where in all hell did this wall come from?
Well, that's new. They tried to bring back Scooby-Doo and like the hook of this straight-to-video feature.
Looks like somebody left the lights on. That's good enough for me.
The hook of this straight-to-video feature, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, was this time the monsters are real, which was supposed to be like this huge twist because of course the Scooby-Doo franchise is known for the fact that it's like the monsters are always guys in masks. It's a little weird though, because I guess like some of the other stuff that had happened certainly featured real monsters. Like 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo had real ghosts in it, and Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, I think was another one. You had all the stuff in the 80s with real monsters, I guess, or the implication that monsters could be real in the Scooby-Doo world. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island was almost like a franchise reboot, actually. Not dissimilar from this game. Like, it was...
Oh, come on.
Gatos.
Not now, Gator.
I can't sprint with her, I don't think. Hi, Gator. Or just get up here.
Okay, you'll be safe here.
Couch.
Now just you wait here. I'll be back with something to make you better.
So it was a pseudo reboot, pseudo sequel to the franchise. It's implied to take place after the events of the mystery, the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You series, and it has all of Mystery Inc. Here we go. And they're like older. Daphne has a local news TV show. Fred is a cameraman on the show. Locked from the other side. Well, that's inconvenient. Fred's a cameraman on the TV show. Velma owns and runs a bookstore that focuses on horror and mystery and detective fiction. which I always thought was kind of like neat. I think it's also maybe a coffee shop also. And then Scooby and Shaggy, of all things, are like, they're like TSA inspectors. But like they specifically, this is like pre 9/11, I guess, so they're not literally TSA, but
Die, motherfucker.
they're like airport security, and they like confiscate food coming in from international flights because there's a lot of restrictions on how food can be brought in, which is like a food safety thing, in case like parasites or whatever get brought in from abroad. Especially like unwashed produce is always a concern, and like uncured meats and things like that. Stuff to kill. Grub, thank you. Is there anything else in here that's useful to me? Not that I see. Let's go in our inventory real quick. They decide to get back on the road again, though. Okay, I don't have chem fluid. Can I? Yes. They decide to get back on the road again to kind of determine, or like they kind of do like a kind of like sewer gators, like the team on here, like they set up a TV show where they're investigating paranormal claims, and they end up in the Deep South. And oh, throwing spear. So that's okay. So the throwing spear, as I remember it from the playthrough years ago, they're like super limited. They're almost like maybe more like grenades or like magnum shots. Yeah. Oh no, you can pick them up again. Maybe they have limited uses. Nope. Maybe they have limited uses. I thought they're... My memory had been that they were very powerful, but they would break. Maybe that's still the case. Maybe if I land the shot, it'll break. But yeah, they end up in the South, and they're investigating zombies on this island. It was kind of a big deal at the time, and I feel like for 9-year-olds, it actually is kind of like a decent introduction into horror. It's not really that scary. We just saved, but whatever. It's not really that scary, but again, for like a 9-year-old, I think it's like the right blend of just spooky enough and like not insulting. Orders are as follows. Effective immediately. The mutamycete is on the loose in the swamp, and it'll keep mutating as it encounters new organisms. We can't allow the stock of medicine compounds to be exposed. If they suffer a mutation, they'll be useless. Transfer the whole anti-infective synthesizing station over to the paddle boat.
The paddle boat? Damn it. You boys ain't making this simple.
Because, I think the cure... I mean, the cure definitely features organic compounds, so I guess, like, the mold being able to, like, take it in some capacity makes sense. But, yeah, I remember that... Oh. Hi.
You best stay back now.
Ow. Ow. Let's heal up real quick. Probably should have used a spear on him, but maybe not. I don't know. Spears, I think, will be useful for, like, the gators when we get to that. But yeah, they, the gang... Oh. Hi.
What? Oh, come on. Just stay down.
How? Jerk. I'm wounded again. Can I... yes. Combine. There we go. Oh, he's back again. Maybe we just have to run. Let's create a new save data, actually, yeah. Another boxing effigy. Locked. Crawfish. That's actually a plot point in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island also.
Remember this old thing? So they took the meds in here, huh?
Did that kill him? I think so. Dad said I think it does cease to be after I've landed a shot. Okay. Hello, crocodile. Oh. Gang finds some zombies. Gang gets chased by some zombies. Zombies are real. Just spooky enough for a kid. Not that scary, though. But it's good. It's a fun time and it's a fun movie, and it actually does kind of Southern Gothic horror, I would say, kind of effectively. What's that away? Well, I don't have a spear to fight you with. That's a concern. Let's go back for a second. I guess I don't know how important it is to spoil or not spoil a 20-plus-year-old children's film, but in the Scooby-Doo franchise, no less, which is not exactly a especially important sort of cultural touchstone. But I don't know. It has some cool twists, I think, and like does the Gothic horror thing pretty well, and like actually touches upon the setting like pretty specifically. Like this Confederate history is actually like in the film, or like a Confederate history is in the film, which is sort of surprising, but I'm like glad that they built that in. Like they actually don't completely gloss it over or ignore the fact that hello. Not like the South would have these things. Okay, so this gator looks like it has cancer, maybe. So maybe the mold is like majorly messing it up. Okay. So back down that other path, I think, is the way to go. And now that we have spears, it should be a little bit safer. But yeah, as a result of this, I think that the Southern Gothic thing has an appeal to my generation. Cool physics interaction there. Yeah, he's got the boils too. Like he has some kind of... The mold maybe is not a good thing for these crocodile. That's the exact right number of spears for the crocodiles. And this will unlock this, I'm sure. Cool. Let's save one more time, just because I'm concerned about losing footage. So, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a milestone for people of my generation with horror. Because we were kind of... I think we were just a little bit past the era of, like, it was harder, maybe, for us to have access to horror in some capacities. Like, for at least for Americans, I can't speak to other systems, but like, oh, scrap metal. I wonder what that's for. Can't be used as is, so that's crafting material, presumably. In the early 80s, we got this division where PG-13 came into existence. Like, prior to PG-13 existing, which came about in, like, 82, 83, something like that, films would just be G, PG, or R. I mean, there's technically also an X rating at the time. This is pre-NC-17. But, like, this dividing line between... Ow. You do damage. There we go. That is a variant. It has 2 arms like that rather than 1. Because there's this huge gap between PG and R, like there were films that were horror films that got away with kind of a lot because they didn't have quite enough to be R-rated films. Oh, another save point already. They're generous with them. Why not? I'm not going for, like, letter grading in the way that some of the Resident Evil games have, like, grading systems for how well you did, and one of the factors on those is usually limiting how many times you save. But I don't care, especially not on this run. So I will save to my heart's content. Oh, tree branch. I wonder if I can make a spear with tree branch. Combine. Yep. Makes a spear. If there's something else I can make with it, I screwed it up by using those materials already. Sorry, everyone. Anything in here? Ooh, centipede, thank you. But yeah, in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, people got away with kind of a lot of horror, at least into the early 80s. Because if you weren't quite brutal enough to get an R rating, you'd get away with... Give. Oh, hello. You could get a PG, and like kids could see some like pretty brutal films. A big part of how PG-13 came into existence actually sort of relates to our guy Tobe Hooper, who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Eaten Alive, both of which I've talked about plenty in this run. But Tobe Hooper also directed... Tobe Hooper also... There's just a grub in a crate. Tobe Hooper also directed Poltergeist. Well, sort of. It was sort of co-directed with Spielberg. Like, there's some like retrospective dialogues about this idea that it was like, in some regards, maybe actually a Spielberg film, but like Spielberg couldn't take credit for like DGA reasons. Like, he had limitations on what he could say his involvement was with the film. I'm gonna hold off on going this way for a second because I feel like going down is like forward progress. But yeah, Poltergeist was like pretty graphic. Like, it has some pretty grotesque imagery. In particular, if any of you haven't seen it, there's this one particularly grotesque body horror segment where a character hallucinates picking all the skin off their face in a mirror. You're facing me, aren't you? Yes. Turn around. Turn around. Okay, I'll go the other way. He'll probably turn around while I'm wrapping around myself. But yeah, Poltergeist is a pretty graphic film. It's pretty grotesque. It has that kind of like, I mean, Spielberg was doing it at the time too, and Spielberg was also like, people cite, you know, the face melting in Raiders of the Lost Ark as being kind of in this conversation as well. And I think it was Temple of Doom. I always forget the specifics, whether Temple of Doom was... Okay, so down is progress. I can't remember if Temple of Doom was actually the first PG-13 film, or if it's the film that inspired the creation of the PG-13 category because of the scene where they rip the guy's heart out. They were really pushing that stuff, and I think Spielberg did know that kids kind of have fun with being scared and horror, so he was... Dang it. You turned around. I knew that there was going to be one in that little alcove. I suspected. Because, like, dropping down... would be the way to, like, be less seen by this guy. So I knew that there was going to be a guy down here. The fact that he walked forward made it a little easier, but he turned around just at the least opportune time for me. I keep trying to... Sorry. I keep accidentally hitting the map button rather than the crouch button. Nope. This isn't the right way, I would say. Doubling back kind of makes sense to me. More scrap metal. Cool. And are you a vent for stealth access? Or are you just a secret? I think you're a stealth access. Oh, box effigy. Champion effigy. Oh, it's the good toy. Extra 5% boost. So we're at plus 10% power. That's actually not too bad. It's going up faster than I thought it might. I can't see if there's guys around, which is a problem. I think yeah, 2 armed guys right there. Turn around. There you go. That's right, 2 armed guy. Your buddy's gone. Now don't you turn around on me. You are gonna turn around, aren't you? Haha. Okay, that worked out. But yeah, kids could see some pretty gruesome films. In the 80s, you also got this thing of like, there was a lot of really, really campy horror in the 80s. It still maybe wasn't appropriate for kids, but I think that like parents probably knew that the films were like campy and kind of trashy and silly, like the Friday the 13th films, or thank you. Or I don't know, something like Night of the Comet or something is just such a goofy film. You have these kind of, or like, they probably weren't appropriate for kids because they also had nudity, but even things like Chopping Mall, like again, these were like goofy films. They always had this, they didn't have that gritty realism of 70s horror. Hello? Let's do another new save. Why not? Okie doke.
What? Oh, come on!
Man, what if he had broken the machine there? I feel like that's kind of in his vibe. Hello. Punch. Let me punch. Ow. I like that he's also punching me. Like, he's very much meeting me on my terms. It's like a Marvel villain, where like, he as a villain has to fight me the way I fight him. Like, he's also a punch boy. Now I get to do a wrestling move on him. Suplex him. Leon Kennedy style. Well, that's not the way Leon suplexes people, but Leon does the suplexes in RE4. But yeah, in the 90s, I feel like horror had just gotten a little too grotesque and a little weird, and it was like always a little bit psychological and sexual. First aid. Thank you. I was punching. Oh, headbutt. Nice. He does have a kind of wrestler vibe to him. Got some... Ooh. Is this all kayfabe? Or are you just... Finish your time.
That's how you get it done. I'm coming for you, Zoe.
Oh, door fell down. Cool. Cool. I still don't have more chem fluid, though, so I can't really do too much. I could make more spears, I guess. Yeah. Oh, what was that? Chem fluid and tree branches. A steak bomb. That's interesting. Why not? Just one more. We haven't had chem fluid in a while, and I'd probably rather use it for healing items, to be honest. Where am I now? Okay. Oh, you're the box I saw before. Cool. We're at what, 18 now? No, 13. 8 plus 5. And this is this other locked door, presumably? Yep. Cool. Well, we might actually call it, or maybe not call it. I'll probably just edit it into one video. But I'm going to take another break just because we've been going for about an hour. Not quite an hour, but I try to break up my sessions a little bit just to like stretch and make sure I'm drinking enough water and everything. I've never been a person who's been able to play games for super long periods of time, but maybe when we return we can talk a little bit more about horror, and I didn't get quite to the point about where I was going with talking about horror for kids, which I actually think is like a really cool topic and something that I think is important and there isn't a lot of right now, and I think that it's a topic worth returning to conceptually. So we'll talk about that when I get back from my break. So see you soon. All right, we're back. Here we go.
So, I brought your medicine. You're gonna be fine. No! No!
Swamp Man got his head back.
Zoe! Where are you, girl? Where'd they go? Hey! Leave my family alone, asshole! Oh, you're gonna get it.
That transition really would have been a great time for me to do my break, but, you know, I didn't know that was going to happen.
This whole place has gone to hell.
Okay, so I guess Joe maybe wasn't walking distance. I mean, maybe walking distance. I don't think he's been in the boat that long, but, like, he was close. He was certainly very close. I guess he was walking distance because Zoe walked within, like, short order to his little cabin. So, a little peculiar. So yeah, kids horror was kind of where we left off. It's a thing that I think is sort of unfortunate that doesn't exist that much anymore. Like, I don't want to be like a kids these days grumpus or something, because I mean, for one thing, it's certainly not kids' fault. Like, kids don't make their own media, parents do, and I don't necessarily want to be like, I don't want to necessarily blame parents either, because I think parents are just doing what, in a sense, they're being sort of told is best for their kids. Gators. So, you know, I'm not gonna, like, blame you, I guess, for wanting to do what's best for your kids. I feel like there's probably stuff that I can find over here. Yep. Crawfish. Crawfish are a plot point in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, by the way. Spicy crawfish are a thing. There's actually a Cajun place not far from where I work that has these really amazing crawfish cakes. Okay, so into the water is actually the way we're supposed to go, because I could have saved right here, but we just started, so I'm not gonna. I certainly can't blame you for, you know, wanting to do what's best for your kids, and like if people are stuffed alligator. If people are saying, you know, X, Y, or Z is bad for kids, I can sort of understand, you know, the impulse to avoid it. And, like, obviously I don't want people to, like, traumatize their kids or anything with, like, really, really violent media. But, you know, throughout 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I do feel like there was a certain availability of stuff that was probably scarier than what kids have access to now, as best I can wager. Like, when you look at the actual Goosebumps books, for example, from back from the 90s, they're not like, they're not super bad. I mean, frankly, they're a lot like what's it called? Twilight Zone. I mean, they're basically Twilight Zone for kids. I mean, kids also had access to Twilight Zone, for that matter. And it's creepy and it's spooky, but, you know, it's not super graphic or super morose. Goosebumps also usually had at least moderately positive endings. Positive-ish endings. What you doing, Gator? Stay still. Stay still so I can kill you, Gator. There you go. There's another one. No, another box for refugee. But there was this Goosebumps movie somewhat more recently that had Jack Black, and I remember catching it on Netflix just because, like, having grown up on Goosebumps, I was like, why not? And it's like, yeah, I feel like it's so much more goofy than what the Goosebumps franchise was for us. Which was legitimately trying to make something that was, like, spooky but, like, appropriate for kids in its own way. Oh, hello. Didn't see you. Resident Evil series really does like these guys. Resident Evil 2 has a giant sewer gator, and Resident Evil 5, I guess it would be maybe a crocodile, not an alligator, but Resident Evil 5 has a sequence where you have to wade through water, and there's a bunch of crocodiles. I think they're crocodiles, at least. I know that there is a technical difference. It's one of those things where whenever somebody points it out to me, I'm relatively disinterested in learning it. I hate saying that. But, oh, thank you. I do want to do this. There you are. That was essentially pointless. We were just getting a stick that I immediately used. Okay, so we could go up. I think these are maybe equally viable paths. Yeah, okay. So that's just the inlet. Takes us over here. There's probably a gator down here, but I also feel like there's probably a drop. Yep. Is there something in the fridge? I feel like there has to be. Oh, yeah. Champion effigy. I knew there'd be a gator in there. It's like too obvious. I also knew there'd be a drop. Thankfully we have, I think, an okay amount of healing items. I'm gonna, yeah, we're fine. And another champion effigy is a big deal because we're now up to 19% damage up. But yeah, the Goosebumps movie was really goofy, and I feel like in general, I pay attention to kids media. Actually, it's something that I've always been interested in. Like when I was in college, I was actually going to school. I went to art school, and I was interested in comics making, and I was interested in animation, and I feel like kids media is I think it's important in a sense. Like I think that, you know, kids deserve access to good media, and I have like a tremendous amount of respect for things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or a lot of the better Pixar movies, or some of the better cartoons in general. I have a lot of respect for them because like they respect that kids aren't stupid, and they make cool stories that kids can feel cool about and can feel excited about. And you can always tell that kids really do want this stuff. I feel like I certainly did when I was a kid, and I think that like even if you as a kid don't remember other kids being hyped about specific properties, certainly I think something that like all like pretty much all people will remember is I can't believe there isn't a stick in here, by the way. I would have thought that they'd have given me more stuff. But anyway, the degree to which kids hate Barney, like the purple dinosaur, like really can't be understated. Kids really, really hate Barney. And I think that that's not... I think that's not a coincidence. Oh. I think that that's not a coincidence. Like, I do think that, like, this universality of this experience of, like, children really hating Barney stems from the fact that, like, Barney doesn't really respect children. Like, as media, it's like, very patronizing and, juvenile. Not that, like... Not that kids' media should inherently be mature or anything, but, like... I feel like Barney didn't respect kids in the way that kids want to be respected and want to be treated like adults. Or at least, like, not treated like idiots. Cool. We are up to now 20, exactly 20 damage. So I don't know. Like, maybe if you were like a kid who was more into sports and games and stuff, maybe you wouldn't have noticed, or like maybe there wouldn't have been like franchises that you noticed other kids being into or something. But I certainly noticed that, like, I think that's a big part of why kids like superheroes, and kids like Dragon Ball Z, and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't, you know, even if it's not the most intelligent media in the world, it doesn't treat them like idiots. Okay, so I want to get down there because that seems like a really good treasure trove. Of course. Whoa, physics interaction. Okay. There's gotta be, like, I bet it either gets swarmed with gators. Something. We'll see. Maybe it'll get swarmed with molded. I hear gators. Yep. Hello, gator. Ow. Up ladder, please. That, I think, was worth it, though. And I have so many critters at this point. Oh. Crawdad.
Not bad.
Yeah, okay. I think that was worth it. Because we now have, with crafting, 5 spears. Which I think is, like, solid. Just because you hurt me. Bad gator. You get hit with the crafted one. Up the stairs I go. So yeah, I think kids do appreciate when media doesn't treat them like they're stupid. So it was always it was a thing that I had seriously considered. Like, I studied animation and I like applied to animation jobs. I applied to, like, the internship with Pixar. I worked on a little bit of animation, not a lot. Physics interactions. Very weird. I applied to a thing with Pixar. I never went super far with it, but I did do some, like, freelance commission-y type stuff related to animated films. Like, I did some backgrounds for some, like, indie films that have done, like, film circuits and stuff. So, we can see items through walls. Very cool. I appreciate kids' media, and I think that kids deserve to have access to good media because I think it's, like, a place of refuge for children. I think that it's, like, I don't know, kids who are in tough situations or, you know, are going through tough times. Like, good media matters to them. It, you know, it can be escapism, which, you know, kids don't have a lot of options compared to adults. Certainly not. Kids have like kids can't choose did I not oh, maybe I just picked up spears. I thought I picked up sticks. Ooh, nice. Kids can't make choices that adults can to, like, extricate themselves from difficult situations. I mean, adults very frequently can't either, but, like, adults have access to more media and better media. Very often. Hi. I could see you. Just getting these left and right now, huh? I think that was the perfect time for me to use the bomb also. I'm glad that I saw those guys coming. Bind or head? Oh. Both. Ow. These guys are really not dealing well with the melee. Well, there's one arm. I was hoping to hit him in the head. Because I have so many of them now, and I think we're getting close to the end of the game. But anyway, to this day I still follow kids' media a little bit. Like, I don't consume a great deal of it, but, like, I pay attention to Cartoon Brew especially, and, like, animation sites. And I'm tangentially aware, like, I have a friend who works for Disney Original Programming. I know people who have worked for Cartoon Network. I've gone to school with some people who have worked on some kids' educational games as well. So I don't know. I think media that respects kids is good and important. And, like, if I had gone down maybe a different path in life and I was focusing more on this kind of stuff, I feel like it would actually have been a goal of mine to do something someday that is like Adventure Time or The Incredibles or Steven Universe or Avatar The Last Airbender or Wall-E, or, you know, like, I think that that's a good thing in the world. And it used to exist, at least in part, with horror, I think, and not so much anymore. I remember always being into that stuff as a kid. At my local library, we had these really cool books. They were kind of slim, and I think they were hardbound, but they were books kind of about different monsters, and I always thought that was cool. And I think a lot of kids do like monsters and are into monsters for different reasons and different kinds of monsters. I think a lot of kids identify with them or think monsters are kind of cool, and, like, in certain regards I do think that the line between fictional monsters and real world monsters is weirdly kind of blurry for kids, not in a way that is like kids can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, because I think that kids are actually better at that than adults sometimes, but Oh, I forgot about this. So we got a mausoleum, or a cemetery full of mausoleums, I should say. These are actually really common in Louisiana, by the way, because the ground is so soft and because of the high water table and everything. You often can't bury corpses underground. You have to bury above ground. I mean, not bury above ground is obviously a misnomer. I mean, you have to inter them in. You have to inter them in these kinds of spaces. It's the only option, or else. Sorry, I keep thinking I hear enemies, or else flooding or whatever could potentially force bodies back up to the surface.
Out of the way, fat fuck!
Nope. Let's heal up real quick. Oh. See, I was hoping to kill him first so he wouldn't be doing that while I'm taking care of the other guys. On the positive side, these swings have like a little bit of AoE. Ow. And he... Ow. Nope. Ow. Stop it. The big guy, thankfully, doesn't take so much knockback as normal enemies. So I was actually finally able to land the power punch combo on him, which I feel like has been kind of a struggle all game. But yeah, I remember, I do think that there's a fascination for kids with monsters and with horror a little bit. Like, there is certainly a certain amount of fear, but that can be a little bit fun. But, like, monsters are also, like, cool. Like, I think kids love Halloween, at least in part, for some of these reasons. It's not just because, oh, Halloween is free candy. I think that, like, the monster theme and the spooky theme is fundamentally, like, a little bit cool to kids. And, like, tons of kids' media will have, like, spooky ghost episodes or vampire things or, like, vampire analogs or, like, it's more... We're at plus 25 power now. That's good. I think it's more than just Halloween theming. Again, I think it's kind of cool, and that's why you get, like, Scooby-Doo and... I guess, like, more recently, like, Bunnicula, like, the rabbit vampire is, like, a thing. And, like, zombies have shown up in kids' media, like, way before they were ever, like, went mainstream with The Walking Dead or whatever. All the stuff has always been in kids' media. It's... Spooky is fun, and that's cool. And pretty much every movie monster you can imagine has at least a few kids movies associated with it in a way that like there aren't necessarily there's both horror movies and then also like serious dramas about vampires, and there's vampire comedies, and there's all kinds of variants upon vampire stories, and you get the same a little bit with werewolves, but like not all other monsters will have a comedy associated with them. Not all other monsters will have like a serious drama associated with it. But basically every monster does have like a kid's movie associated with it, or several, in fact. I always remember.
Goddamn sacrilege.
I mean, rather literally. Okay, so this church has been decorated up with another one of these weird cow coronas and all the hanging saw blades again. I have to wonder if, like, thematically, the saw blade and then this, like, rotational motif of all the cow legs. The cow legs are kind of like the saw blade. I have to wonder if there is something related to the Mutamycete with that, because you see these like that's kind of what like a mycelium often kind of looks like it spreads out from a center. So I wonder if that's like a deliberate design motif either by the creators of the game or implicitly the characters, the bakers are maybe making these cow leg things to resemble like a mycelium spreading out from a center, which a circular saw blade kind of has a similar vibe, similar look. Hello again.
Jack? What the fuck?
Yep. Jack's back, everybody. He still didn't die. It's time we get buried alive, everybody.
God damn it, Jack! Don't you remember your brother? Don't do it! Don't you touch her! Jack! Let me the fuck out of here! Love your family! How the fuck can you do this to me? Get me the fuck out of here, Jack!
Gonna push us in the water? Yep. Into the bog we go. Why it's not floating is a little strange to me, but I guess if we went in towards the side that had the hole in it.
God damn it. Oh, hell, Jackie boy. What's happened to you?
So for the sake of it, not that they do underground burials in Louisiana, but for the sake of it, the motif of being buried alive is actually super, super common in Gothic fiction. Again, that book that I mentioned by Judith Halberstrom, Skin Shows, talks about it a little bit. Like, being buried alive is like one of the most common things that shows up in so much Gothic fiction. It is this like thing, like maybe tying back to this like consume or be consumed, or consume and be consumed motif, like you're being consumed by the earth, almost like this wrapping up of you. Famously Edgar Allan Poe, Cask of Amontillado is like an especially famous thing, but there's
We've been engaged by an unknown bioweapon. Major house camp under attack.
is a big manifestation of it. Okay.
There you are, you son of a bitch. Let's do this.
Okay. So he is now harassing the Umbrella crew. And we are, wow. Well, they all kited that way, so thanks for giving me a quick and easy path, everybody. First aid meds, thank you. That is the way I think I'm supposed to go. Okay, we can't go that way yet. Metal door. But they let us know that we can go that way because they did mark the door. Somehow we gotta find a way to get through metal doors. What's this? Umbrella?
What the hell is
Advanced
this?
multi-purpose
One of
gauntlet.
them fancy toys?
Ready for use.
Powerful left punch, they say.
Charging. Charging. Charge complete.
One and done.
Charging. Charging.
You can hold the charge, so
Charge complete.
you might as well. Doesn't punish you for doing it early. And I can, in fact, take multiple enemies out with it at once, too, which is nice.
Charge complete.
This just might be what I need to put old Jack down for good.
That's right.
Charging.
Ethan with all his guns and his grenade launcher. And, you know, all of his accoutrement. Not as good as my good old punchy fist. And we're now at the old house, if y'all don't recognize it. This is where Ethan got his first backpack. Aww. Zoe Baker, 4th grade. Aww. That's really good. I don't think that was in the main game. We just saved, so whatever. I think we'll be okay. Anything over here? No. Oh yeah, there were actually centipedes down this path. It looks like it's been blocked off though, where it collapsed in on itself.
Charging. Charging. Charge complete.
That's locked, I presume. Yeah, for whatever reason, I guess Umbrella in their cleanup of this place has been...
Charging. Charging. Charging.
Big hero moment. Pretty classic for the Resident Evil games that we are given like a really cool weapon right at the end. I think it was Shinji Mikami in talking about the original Resident Evil.
Charge.
Talked about this idea that he wanted people to feel like rewarded in the last act of the gameplay, like after
Charge complete.
after kind of being like tortured the whole game with feeling weak. He wanted people to he wanted people to feel empowered. So yeah, there's the crank bit has fallen now. Champion effigy, hello. Yeah, for kids media though, I'm trying to think what were the ones that I really liked. I might want to like do a video essay about this sometime and maybe articulate my thoughts in a more constructed way. Because I do think it's a cool topic, and I think a lot of people have their things that they were particularly scared of as kids, and like different kids are obviously like more afraid of certain things than others. So like for me, I found myself always really, really uncomfortable with, or like really, really spooked by aliens. Like that was something I wasn't super comfortable with. It felt more real to me than other things. Okay, so that goes into the house.
What happened here?
Lost inventory has been moved to the item box. Oh. Okay. I didn't even know that we lost that stuff. I mean, might as well. Whatever. Like, we're not overburdened with things. I think we're going to throw a bunch of spears at Jack in the finale. I think that would just be kind of funny, personally. Chem fluid. Crawfish, just hanging out on a dead body. So yeah, Jack's been killing these guys. These guys are setting up, presumably, to like destroy remaining mold infestations. Not that they've been doing really well, but maybe as he slaughtered them or something, the mold grew back. Or he's been converting their dead bodies into new molded, maybe. Product name, AMG-78, developed to assist in the transport of heavy equipment and supplies. When worn, the wearer's nerve impulses are detected and synced with an actuator, allowing max output to exceed 50 horsepower. State-of-the-art shock absorbers reduce all recoil experienced by the wearer to 0. Tech specifications. Max power output, 78 AP or 6,000 RPM. Max torque, 155 newtons per meter. / 4,500 RPM, unit weight 5.5 kilograms. I don't know what 78 AP is. Newtons per meter is a weird. I think that's newtons per meter. Maybe I'm wrong. That's kind of cool. And 5.5 kilograms is not a joke for my American audience. That's 13 pounds. That's heavy. We finished analyzing the tissue samples believed to be from Jack Baker. Cells exhibit an extraordinary resilience to physical and chemical damage. The E-series mutamycete secretes a telomerase-like enzyme through the cell wall, causing abnormal activation of the ERK pathway to achieve forced cell division, quickly regenerating damaged tissue. However, the repeated cell division quickly leads to breakdown in the intercellular structure, leading to a sloughing, slurry-like effect that we've observed in the collected tissue samples. Our working hypothesis puts this down to the cells reaching their Hayflick limit. Note that the samples from the other family members, the wife Marguerite, the son Lucas, and the daughter Zoe, do not exhibit the same extreme regenerative properties. Their symptoms may differ subject to subject. Further study is required. That's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's kind of nice that they address this fact that why are they mutating in such different ways, and there is something unique person to person. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not an expert on this, but for the sake of saying it, the Hayflick limit is this thing of it has to do with this thing about cellular regeneration, I believe. I pulled it up on. I decided to pull it up on my phone. I was familiar with the term because I've heard about this idea, like people talking about cellular immortality or whatever. So for the sake of it, just addressing it on my phone, the Hayflick limit or Hayflick phenomenon is the number of times a normal human cell population will divide before cell division stops. The concept of the Hayflick limit was advanced by American anatomist Leonard Hayflick in 1961 at the Worcester Institute in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. Hayflick demonstrated that a normal human fetal cell population will divide between 40 and 60 times in cell culture before entering into a senescence phase. Senescence, for the sake of it, is that I know is aging, basically. It's cellular decay, sort of, or cellular entropy or something. This finding refuted the contention by French Nobel laureate Alexis Carrel that normal cells are immortal. Each time a cell undergoes mitosis, the telomeres on the ends of each chromosome will shorten slightly. Cell division will cease once telomeres shorten to a critical length. Hayflick interpreted his discovery to be aging at the cellular level. The aging of cell populations appear to correlate with the overall physical aging of an organism. So basically, telomeres, which were discussed on the first page, so they secrete telomerase, I guess, like enzyme. So it basically lets him just keep regenerating because he doesn't have a series of like subcellular instructions to stop from regeneration. So that's kind of neat. That's an unusually specific bit of sci-fi babble for Resident Evil. Like, they usually don't get quite that specific even in their flavor text. Is that another document? No, it's like a pillow. But yeah, aliens were always the creepiest thing to me as a kid. Like anything of like X-Files, I wouldn't have been able to handle as a kid. I actually never encountered it until I was like a teenager, so it wasn't any actual cause for nightmares. But I remember there being like episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog or other things for kids, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, that would involve aliens, and that stuff always like really bothered me. There was an episode of The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest as well that connected the Easter Island heads, I believe, to alien activity.
Just you wait, Jack. Zoe's coming with me.
And I remember being really creeped out and really uncomfortable and like being in my basement watching that episode, and like needing to like go upstairs because like the dark room at the end of the basement was like so much more ominous after this episode about aliens, which doesn't really make sense. It's not like aliens hide in darkness in the way that other monsters do. Yeah, they've set up base here.
Zoe! Zoe, wake up! Wake up! You're just a rabid dog now. I'm gonna get you out of your misery. Bring it on!
Just gonna make you a pincushion, Jack. Oh, that's all of them? Ow. I want to grab that last one. I want to make my Jack pincushion final. Ow, stop it. Jack, let me get this out of your house. Is he dead? How great.
Charge. Charging.
How?
Charging. Charge.
How?
Charging. Charging.
So that's the difficult thing about this fight, is figuring out when.
Charging. Charge. Charging.
That's gotta be his death.
You remember me, right? You remember the time I broke your nose when we were kids? You remember when I clotheslined you into the swamp?
Charging. 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 Charge complete.
I got a block there.
Charging. Charging.
Here we go.
Charging.
Ow. Let's heal one more time. I think I have one more heal after this.
Charging. Charging.
Circle strafe.
Charging.
Is that it?
Charge complete.
This is farewell from the family, brother.
Okay, well he finally calcified, which I think means he's supposed to be dead. Oh, there's another healing item in the room. That's nice. But I guess I don't know, we saw his goo calcify. I don't know if they ever directly addressed this, but my personal pet theory was that when Ethan kills Jack with the chainsaw in the basement fight, he like pops the top half of Jack and then the legs walk off a little bit. My theory is that the big liquidy gooey Jack that we face in the boathouse, functionally the third Jack boss battle, is the goo from his upper half that like gets splashed everywhere. Like that goo like became its own version of Jack, and that this is his legs having regrown a top half or something like that. but the legs, maybe like without a nervous system, had like less organizational structure or something like that. I see something I can pick up. Can I? I see it. What is that? What is the thing I can't pick up? Let me over there. I'm supposed to go over to Zoe, but I think that's the end of the DLC as soon as I do that. So I'm trying to... Can I get through? What is the thing I can pick up?
Charging.
No. I don't think I can run over these. No. Okay. Well.
Zoe, hang in there. You gotta be all right now. Zoe? Zoe! Wake up, Zoe.
Joe, what happened to her? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't you worry about me. It's all over now.
Go, 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 go!
Don't move! Get your hands up! Get down!
Weapons down!
Hello
Weapons
again,
down.
Chris.
It's all right. You must be Zoe Baker.
Who the hell's asking?
Chris Redfield. Been looking all over for you. We're here to help.
You're gonna be just fine.
I was trapped with those monsters for 3 years. All of them trying to kill me. I can't believe it's finally over.
You gotta know. Deep down somewhere, they were still your family. And they loved you. Especially your daddy. Even in his final days.
We found her. She's a tough kid. Of course. Hang on. Someone wants to speak to you.
Zoe. Zoe, are you there?
It's you. I don't believe it. You actually made it.
We both did.
You didn't forget about me.
I told you I'd send help. And I always keep my promises.
Thank you, Ethan.
Okay, well that's that. I actually liked that one quite a bit. It was fun. It was cute. It's a little bit silly. Mutant Jack is weird, but like, I don't know. I think it's kind of a good design. Swamp monster. So that was End of Zoe. I do actually like that quite a bit, a little more than I remembered. I still am not crazy about the fact that not a hero kills Lucas. I think he's just like too good a villain. I think that it's kind of a waste that they got rid of him. Like too good a character also. Giving Zoe a happy ending is really nice, though, because I did like her character for what little we got of her in the main game. So I am happy that she got a happy ending. I doubt that we're ever going to see her again, because the Resident Evil series is especially bad about just, like, dropping women, like, altogether. It happens, like, a lot in Resident Evil games. Not that they're, like, fridged, so to speak, like, they're not just being killed, but, like, women showing up and then never being seen again. It happens with some male characters too, like Billy from Resident Evil 0 never shows up again. But there's a lot of women like Sheva from RE5 and Helena from RE6 and what's her name? Rebecca from RE0 and RE1 functionally has ceased to exist in canon. Like, I mean, she still exists, but like, she's like a character who's there in these like important early episodes, and she's kind of never been a player again for the rest of the franchise, that I can recall at least. Jill sticks around, and Claire Redfield sticks around, but I feel like there's way more recurring guys in the story, which isn't necessarily a good or bad thing, but they have kind of had this pattern of introducing women who never show up again. Ashley is another one from RE4. Not that she's like an action character, but like the fact that they never touch on anything with her again. She's kind of just like she's a MacGuffin to that plot for the most part. I talk about that a little bit in my RE4 playthrough, where I kind of feel like if they rewrite the RE4 plot dramatically, like I'd probably not completely get rid of Ashley, but like find a way to like better integrate her into the story or find some purpose for her. I have some theories about that, but I won't drag that into this series. This has been fun though. I liked End of Zoe. We'll continue with I think Daughters next, and we'll actually get we just got the end of Zoe's story, and we'll kind of get the start of Zoe's story in Daughters. So thanks everyone so much for watching. We'll see you next time.